in the technical education and training. So first of all, as the brochure is already shared with you about the topic of our today's discussion, which is about the academia and the industry collaboration in Pakistan, because I am from Pakistan, so and working in the TVET sector. So my focus will be related to the current practices towards the integration of IA 4.0 and curriculum 4.0 in the field of TVET institutions. So this will be the focus of our today's session, and I am trying to share the slides with you on the screen. But in the meantime, if it's sharing or some technical things are happening here, so I will start with the major focus of our today's session, because as you can see from the today's topic that it
Hello.
the sector and Industrial Revolution 4.0, Education 4.0, and also the target of our today's discussion will be touch the curriculum 4.0. Maybe it's somehow new field for most of you or some of you. Particularly if we talk about a little bit about the background of TVET in Pakistan, we also have a very strong foundational mechanism or strategy plan in our education policy, particularly for formal and informal education. So in TVET sector, Pakistan is progressing since our independence in 1947. And our founder, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, was also emphasizing on skill-based education. So the focus of TVET in Pakistan is to upskill and provide the knowledge, what particularly in the marginalized community, particularly those people, they not prefer to move towards the formal education like school, colleges, and higher education institutions. And we have tried our best since the start that how we can empower, how we can upskill, how we can deliver the skill to the people they are from the marginalized communities. Particularly, I think same scenario we have all around the world, particularly in the underdeveloping countries like Pakistan, and also somehow it's also relevant and similar with the Indonesian context as well, because we have most of the socio-economical issues as a Muslim country. We also have the same, most of the issues are similar. If I talk about the current, what we can call it, the need, particularly in the field of education, especially in TVET sector, that is focusing and targeting towards the four major agendas. Like we have to change the society through a quality education and integration of technology. Particularly if we highlight that what are the needs of our existing educational system in Pakistan and the similar dynamics, the countries that have similar dynamics. So the quality of education is one of the very sheer, what we can call it, the challenge we have to deal with. And as we know, after the COVID-19 and this pandemic, we have come up with the new approaches, and particularly in the field of education, we rethink that how we can re-engineer our teaching and learning process, particularly to the formal education and informal education like TVET sector. So we come up with the new ways of pedagogies, and pedagogues and the technologists, they come up and proposed some new visions that can help us in terms of developing or further enhancing our teaching and learning practices after the COVID pandemic. And in post-COVID pandemic, I remember that in previous, some of the sessions during the COVID, when we were virtually connected with the world, and it also gave us opportunity that we can virtually connect with the people from the different regions of the world. And it was also one of the very interesting activity for all of us as a pedagogue and educator. So we share our knowledge. We also learn from the different.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
share screen, we cannot see your
Oh,
share. Yes,
you cannot see me or you cannot see the screen.
screen.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. But I had already shared. Maybe there is some error, but I am again sharing with you.
Or you can
Okay, so
share, or you can share a presentation in me, and I want to help you to share screen. Yes, sir.
okay,
Yes.
okay. Can I email you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so at the meantime, I can email you, and I'm trying to again to connect. So I think we can little bit continue, and then at the meantime we will connect
Oh,
again.
okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
Okay, sir.
I'm refreshing it. Okay, so sorry
Yes.
for the inconvenience, and
Yes. Okay.
yes. So the agenda which we are today we are discussing, it's mostly related to that how we can re-engineer our curriculum, particularly in the context of Pakistan, but what kind of practices we have in our country, and what kind of innovations we are trying to integrate in our what we can call it educational system, particularly in TVET education, and to upskill the marginalized community in the context of the rural and the urban context of Pakistan. So particularly if we talk about, as I shared with you, that we are targeting and focusing towards the recent discourse of education, particularly in TVET sector. So the things which I want to share with you, I have here in my PPT. So I am again sharing with you guys, and also emailing this to Sulesmi. Okay, so just give me 1 second so I can email this to her.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So Lesmi, if you don't mind, can I join again, because maybe there is some kind of distraction.
Okay.
Is
Okay,
it
sir.
okay for
No
you?
problem.
So
Yes.
sorry for
Yes.
inconvenience to the audience as well. So it will be
Okay.
good, I think, if I will join again, because maybe some connection issue from sharing the file.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so Sasmika, so Leslie, have you received my PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
This
please.
one, yes.
Yes, yes, this one. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
really sorry for inconvenience, because you know sometimes technology also give us tough time, huh?
No problem, sir. Yes.
Okay. So
You
thank
can
you very much.
say next, yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, I
Yes.
can.
Okay.
Okay, so I think next slide, because we have already introduced about the topic. So you can go next. Okay, next slide. Yes, please, next slide. Okay, the thing on which I was talking previously, and there was a disruption somehow from the technical issues. So sorry for that to all the audience. And the agenda which we are focusing today, that as we know that internationally and particularly to the developing countries, we have some particular needs in education that we are focusing for in our today's education, particularly in the TVET and in formal education. The first thing which comes in our mind, it's about that how we can change our society, how we can upskill the marginalized community through the quality education and with the integration of technology. And we have already experienced this, and somehow we now around the globe, we move towards that, we transfer our classroom to the also have the flavor that how a virtual classroom look like, what are the new innovative techno pedagogies which we can integrate in our classrooms. And then in the framework of education and the policies or educational systems, we still have to improve the current practices, the current educational systems, that in that way we can further like enhance and grab the industry and also the international market. So the weaknesses in the system is one of the very what we can call it challenge for us. Also in Pakistan and also in other countries, we are facing this, because particularly when we talk about contextualization, because all the time, what I believe that all the time internationalization is not preferable. The issue is this, that for example, when we are talking about the rural areas, those people, they don't have all the facilities, all the required equipments, then it will be quite injustice for them that we implement the techno-pedagogical approaches or those what we can call it gadgets to teach them, because we have to first upskill those marginalized people with giving them some skill to they can even go for an earning of the bread and butter for their families and have a proper life with all the facilities. But we cannot also neglect this international revolutions, such as like currently we have IR 4.0. Currently we are in this era now. We are about to start to jump into IR 5.0 as well. And because of this, when the industrial revolution came, starts from 1.0 to 4.0, we also revisited our teaching and learning practices, our curriculums, our educational systems to make it up to the mark as per the need. I think that we need to look at the innovative and collaborative ways of teaching and learning. Like previously, we have a traditional classrooms where the students were more like a passive learners, and the role of the teacher was dominant. But now, in this era, or in this IR 4.0 domain, we are focusing for developing 4 C's among students, developing such skills which are the need of market. For example, most of the students sometime in my class, they ask me that, sir, we are talking about robotics, we are talking about artificial intelligence. Then what about us as a teacher? We not have we not learn the technical skills, but we are as a teachers, pedagogues. But I told them that we have to uh, realign our teaching and learning practices, our pedagogies, and we have to rebuild a new way of technology that student can learn, unlearn, and relearn. So we give them this opportunity through the innovative ways of teaching, particularly in collaborative teaching and learning practices, what we are around the globe we are talking about. So these are some needs of today's education, and we have to focus for these needs. Otherwise it will be difficult for us to grab the market, particularly in either in a formal education or informal education, where we are talking about the TVET sector. So can you please next slide? Okay. Okay, so then the main keyword of our today's session came in the discussion that we are talking about the Industrial Revolution 4.0, because this Industrial Revolution 4.0 give us the way to rethink or re-engineer our teaching and learning practices, our curriculums, our assessment practices. And also in the TVET sector, it was more dominant. And what I through the recent experiences, because I'm also the head of education technology and TVET research in this context, and we also have other countries in South Asia from where we also collaborate and learn the existing practices. So education 4.0 or industrial revolution 4.0 is the current discourse in TVET as well, that I think most of you have also heard about TVET 4.0. So these terminologies came from the little background from IA 4.0, where in the first revolution which came, that was more mechanic or the steam oriented engines were there, and mechanical element was more dominant in that. And then we moved towards the 2.0, that it is the era of electricity, and electricity help us to produce or empower our industries, and we move towards the massive production where the industries boost or the revolution within the industries came when we move towards the mechanical energy to electrical energy. And then in 3.0, it's the digitalization, somehow the domain where we interact with computers, where the microelectronic devices, transistors, and ICs were introduced, and that was the what we can call it. The new era of living life, or somehow interacting and dealing in all fields of studies, where computer and digitalization is introduced, then we have a new doors are open for us towards that, how we can further progress. And in the fourth, where we are currently, somehow some of the countries or some of the people, they still believe that we are still at 3.0. We not touch 4.0, but 4.0, which is the initiated from the Germany, and it's 2011. Somehow it was introduced, and the focus was the emerge of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, cyber physical system, Internet of Things, and also the cloud computing. And I think these are the recent discourse and the technical terms which we interact with, like in our daily life. We also heard about that AI and automation, robotics. So this is the era where we currently in. And now, as a student of TVET, as a student of education, we have to think that what are the offerings we can bring to our classroom as a teacher and teach our students, that they can go to the market in the future. At that time, they can upskill themselves, and they can deliver what we teach them according to the demand of the industry. So where the industry and the academia collaboration is required, because we have to interact with academia, as I think most of you have heard about the helix model of industry and academia partnership, industry and academia collaboration. The helix said that we have three stakeholders, like industry, academia, and the student. The student is the one who is the somehow a receiver or the beneficiary of the offerings which industry collaboration they are giving to the student, TVET graduate, either a student of a formal educational system, where he or she can build or develop those skills which are the demand of the industry. That's why the term emerge, which is curriculum 4.0, because we need to revisit and we have to look at our curriculum, that where we can remove the outdated parts, where we can add the new, innovative, recent, latest elements which can further help our graduates, help our TVET students to get employment in the industry, to contribute to the industry. So that is somehow the Helix model. I will recommend you guys, you can like read about it, Helix model for industry and academia collaboration. I think this will also help you for your, if someone is doing research and PhD in this field. Okay, next, please. Okay, somehow this is the graphical representation where we can see that how we progressed and how we move towards industry 1.0 till industry 4.0, and the mechanical equipments were used in industry and the mechanical power were dominant, and that now we are controlling the industry 4.0 with the help of like artificial intelligence. For example, I'm sitting in here in Pakistan, but if I want to control something in Jakarta, or I want to have a plant over there, so I can easily control it with, have a lot of there is a distance, but with the help of technology, with the help of AI, with the help of automation and robotics, I can easily control wherever I want to control the things with the access. So this is somehow the same thing which we have discussed. Can you next, please? Okay, so how vocational education is influenced by Industry Revolution 4.0. I believe that I am an engineer from my educational background, but what I believe that engineers know the theory. Engineers are expert in the theoretical part, but the vocational students or the vocational graduates having more hands-on skills rather more than the engineer, and that we have to understand, particularly in the TVET sector, that the backbone of the industry, the backbone of the industrial system is the vocational people, the vocational technicians, the workforce, the labor having particular skill. They used to deal and interact with the machinery. They used to deal with the interact with the production units. So they are the core of industry. So we must have to align the demand of Industrial Revolution 4.0 and bring them to the technical and vocational sector, because we if we not give them and teach them that how you have to deal with or operate with the particular technology, how you have to respond to that, and if without it, it is impossible for us that we can make there is a thin line between the two different disciplines, particularly if we want to deliver to them about IR 4.0. So as like other fields, TVET is also somehow have the IR 4.0 have a very strong impact on that. And we, as a pedagogue, we are thinking, always thinking about that, how, what we can do, how we can develop a frameworks, how we can bring these things to our institution, and bring or come up with the new ways of doing things. So I think it is one of the major influence for us in vocational education, and particularly the teaching methods, because who will teach or who will train the up or upskill the students in the classroom, vocational students? They are the TVET teachers. The TVET teachers, if they are not from their professional development element, from the skills and competencies, if they are not skilled, if they are not up to that mark, then it will be a big challenge for the students as well, and for the the institution as well, because we are not delivering what we want to deliver. What is the need? So the first thing, we have to work on our TVET teachers training. We have to give them the new ways of teaching as per the requirements and needs of IR 4.0. And I think where the leadership of the institution, where the administrative personnel of the institution have to take their part, and promote the culture of teachers training, promote the continuous professional CPDs, professional development activities, and give them the competency based training, where the teachers can go and they can learn that what the demand of this era and what we can bring to the class. So if and we also come up with a new set of skills. We have to bring the new skills in the class. We have to bring new skill to the workshop, where we can deliver to the students. So it is quite challenging for us. So the next thing, this the new curriculum, which we are currently dealing with, and also the discourse of this current scenario as well. And our target is that the new curriculum, it's not necessary that we can come up with 100% new curriculum. We can also do some kind of amendments, some kind of revisions in our existing curriculum, where we have, I think all the curriculums have this space. And and in Pakistan, we are also doing this from last 2 years, that where with the help of stakeholders, different stakeholders from TVET sector, from the formal education sector, from the industry. So the all stakeholders, they sit together, and they tell the educationists that what is our demand, what we need in the industry, what skill it is required. Then you offer those skills or those courses in the classroom or the universities or the schools, so where the student get that particular skill, and then we can easily give them employment. Because if we look at our curriculums, the previous curriculums, that there are so many things, the students are still confused, that why we studied this, what is the reason, what is the focus of studying this content in the classroom, how it will help us to be in the society as a responsible citizen, or to a professional having that particular skill. So there are so many things which are quite outdated. So have to more focus and allow the students to learn outside the classroom, and more experiential learning, and the assessment will be also with the new and innovative ways. So next, please. So this topic is quite close to my heart, so I can talk more on that, but I have to also focus for the time as well. Okay, so vocational education, particularly, as we know that the term education 4.0, because it's drive from IR 4.0, and the previous practices what we have, that was the student was just memorizing, and the rote memorization was there, and lecturer was just giving the lecture, and students are just listening, and therefore just a memorization process. There was no something unique and innovative come in. Then we introduced in 2.0 with the in education, we interact with the internet, as the internet give us this opportunity and the new ways of doing things, and the learning opportunities are increased. And we uppernet, like internet, we interact with the internet, and then we explore, or come up with the new window of data and resources open, so we can learn from each another, and also the domain of getting knowledge become more easier and accessible. Then in 3.0, the knowledge production based education, the knowledge producing education was more influenced. And in 4.0, we are not just producing knowledge, we are also bring the innovation in the knowledge production. So the 4.0 also give us this opportunity that we can think critically, we can think analytically, we can come up with some new ways of educating, like perceiving and delivering. So this offer of 4.0 is much in demand, and I think we currently somehow struggling around the globe for this, but still the struggle is there, and it's very difficult that you can change the mindset of 250 million people. So it is quite difficult, but the small struggle, I think Indonesia is much more populated than us. So it's quite difficult that we can change the mindset. We can bring the innovation and innovation production based education, or the innovative education, or innovative ways of producing education to the classrooms, and it will be done within months or days. It is quite difficult. So but we can uh, take the initiatives. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so the dominant skills in education 4.0 are like, I think you also maybe heard about this, and we are also focusing and targeting to provide such skills to our students, not necessarily that the students of social sciences or the students of history or students of engineering, but at least need to give them the idea, or the short courses even on those skills that they can, because nowadays I think you all heard about the word tech educational, just what we call it, edu entrepreneurship. So edu entrepreneurship is the entrepreneurship for the students. Then they learn some small short course, through short courses, some particular skill which is the demand of the industry, and then they earn during their studies, they earn during their the courses. So these skills, such as like machine learning, artificial intelligence, business analytics, digital marketing, this is also one of the these days everyone is talking about it. And then investor market, management information system, SAP, and then hospitality and management, family business and management. So these all are the courses particularly which are aligned with the agenda of education 4.0, where the student can learn these skills, and he or she can earn a very good handsome amount for that particular skill. Because what I believe that TVET education is the people of formal education is also, they are also influenced with the these skills, and the what we can call it, that they are also moving towards the skill based education. They are also moving towards these skills that they learn and they can earn. So I think the focus is to give such skills, at least few skills, not all the skills necessary. This is just an example that help us to like meet the upcoming market. So next, please. Okay, so I think you all heard about these four C's, like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. So this is these 21st century skills are also influenced, or education 4.0 is also influenced by these skills. Like we as a pedagogues, we can integrate these skills in our teaching and learning, that the student can think critically, they can work in a group, they can either in a digital platform or either in a physical classroom. We give them opportunities. Like there are different in this technological era, there are different ways where a teacher can engage the students with the help of some digital mediums. There are several softwares and online platform, web-based platforms are available, where as we had practice, like what we are doing currently, also using Zoom, and then we also have Schoology, we have Edmodo, which is also recently closed, and then Easy Class. So such platforms also help a teacher to offer these skills to the students. So we must have to while planning and while doing our what we can call it, that lesson plan or the classroom plan what we have planned for our students. So we try to at least build at least one or two skill on the daily routine in the class. We have to develop our strategies, our activities according to this, so student can learn in that particular way. Next, please.
Excuse me, sir. 10
Yes, yes.
minutes again. Yes.
Okay, so we have 10 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Oh, seriously? So it was, I think, because maybe we connect late. So can we go more for 10 minutes, like maybe 20 minutes? Is it okay? Because
Because in other class
oh,
in
okay,
at 1 o'clock.
okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Then fine. Okay, then fine. Okay, so then now we have the industry guided curriculum. Please, next, can you please press click? Okay. The industry guided curriculum is focusing, as we know that the curriculum is the one that having content, learning objectives, teaching methodologies, assessment, but we have to make it as per the objectives of IR 4.0, and that is what we call it the curriculum 4.0. And this curriculum must be having a very a balanced approach between the information and the functional domains of the TVET as per the industrial need. And what I believe that in that way, when we are talking about or developing the curriculum 4.0, so it cannot be a static kind of curriculum. It can be have the space to change according to the need and the demand. So this must be contain a very balanced approach in between information and the functional domain. And we will touch all the TVET's trades, like we have different trades, electrical, mechanical, civil, and we also practicing here in Pakistan. Their hardware, and we also have computer-based skills. Also, we also have refrigeration skills. We also have beautician and embroidery and textile. So there are different trades. So we have to focus that how as maximum as we can align our IR 4. To achieve the IR 4.0 objectives, and develop such abilities in the students, then they can deal the upcoming challenges and issues which can be emerged or which can they face in the future while they are working in the industry. So we also need to give them such skills like problem solving, decision making, and then analyzing things. So these offerings will help them to in the future for the market. Next, please. Okay, so the major issues and challenges, what we also faced here, because I was planning to share a study with you, but I think that we are running out of time. So the major challenge was that in the TVET sector, that our academic practices were not according to the need of IR 4.0. And then somehow it was challenging for us that we can develop such abilities among the students. And without TVET sector, it's not possible. We can, if we want to get the good results, if we want to get the instant results, we have to modify our teaching and academic practices. Then we can reach to that level. And also the second thing was the world is planning for a stage forward with the approach of Industry Revolution 4.0, which need provoking and cutting edge abilities, like where we have to target the market, that our graduates can be emerge in the market, they can take part in the market as per their demand. And the lack of trust among educators with regard to innovation and advancement in TVET training, particularly for CPDs, the training part. And these innovative actions are expected to upscale the training process among teachers. So the teachers training is one of the issue, like the academia have to modify their practices, their activities, curriculum. That was one of the issue. And also the approaches which we have to plan to grab the market in the future. So that is one of the demand. So I am going to share a quick findings of one of the study which is conducted by our research center, where I'm leading the research center. So next, please. So we have targeted these were the major objective over that study, where we are identifying the level of readiness of TVET faculty to integrate curriculum 4.0 in Pakistan, and to analyze the perception of TVET faculty about the curriculum in Pakistan, and then what are the factors they are affecting the faculty readiness to integrate the curriculum 4.0 in Pakistan. So that was the study which we conducted in three different provinces of Pakistan on the very large scale. So that was based on methodologically, that was based on a sequential explanatory research design. I think you already heard about this. This is a mixed method approach. There is a sequential explanatory and sequential exploratory. So based on that particular, adopting the methodology where we conducted a survey first, and the questionnaire was adapted based on the Helix model and adapted from one of the study conducted in Malaysian domain and also Turkish domain. The constructs were adapted from there. So next, please. So these were the conceptual framework which we had, which was focusing on the faculty readiness and the perception. And the faculty was TVET and engineering faculty, but the focus was on TVET faculty. And then we come up with that, what are the competencies lacking in terms of curriculum 4.0 guided by industry, and the content which we have to teach our students guided by the industry, and the teaching methods which we have modified as per the requirement and the needs, and the methods of assessment, which was very important when we are going to assess and evaluate the students. And next, please. Okay, so that was the theoretical framework, what we had focused for this study, which was the theory which we had followed. It was the information processing theory, and targeting all the four components of curriculum 4.0, where the competency, content, method, and assessment was target. And then we look at this from the new lens, which was the lens of industry 4.0. So that was the conceptual and theoretical part. If you can directly go to the slide next, if you can minimize this so we can. Okay, so this was the research design, because we are running out of time. So this was the research design. So if you can go to one, I can tell you, please go down. Yes, yes. Please, next, next. So these are all the findings which we have come up. I think that can be, yes, please. Can you please maximize this? No, no, the go back. Yes, yes, this purple one. Then down, down, down. The purple. Yes, yes. Maximize this. Yes, maximize this finding and results and find. This one. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so these are the overall results and findings which we get through our qualitative part, because it's a sequential exploratory. But here we come up with the very interesting results and findings, like the perception of the TVET faculty about that the curriculum 4.0 is aligned with the IR 4.0, which was surprisingly in our results. It was what we got, that the practices which we already doing in our schools in a very small time, but the results which we find out from our CPDs, the training which we have provided to our teachers on the national level. So we come up with that that the curriculum 4.0 is aligned with the need of IR 4.0. So the effectiveness of our existing practice in Pakistan was somehow it's met with the need of IR 4.0, which was quite interesting for us. And we further requested our management and ministries that to further strengthen this with some kind of upgradation, and it's also some kind of appreciation as well for the parties, they are playing their role. And then the competencies required by teachers for curriculum 4.0, that exposure of industry to have transferable skills. We need to connect with the industry, and I think also this is around the globe in the TVET sector is somehow a missing part, that industries are playing their role, but not that effective role. So we have to provide exposure to our graduates to the industrial work rather than to developing our workshop at the campus, at the center. We give them some practicum and the hands-on skill on the very effective way. The practicum we have to work. I think here, if I talk about Pakistan, we are facing this issue that the practicum are not that much effective. They are just the students are not developing their skills what they learn in the classroom. They're not delivering there. So it was a gap in terms of our teaching strategies. We have to look for that. And then the theories and concepts we need to teach according to IR 4.0. That was one of the competency which is required among the teachers, and 21st century skills for TVET. It's also the demanding or the high time for this, that we have to integrate this in our teachers training program for TVET. So then the content for curriculum 4.0 moved from curriculum 1 to 4.0. It was like we somehow, some people, they highlighted from the results that the shift from 1 to 4 was quite challenging, and some of them are confused in terms of it. And then experimental and practical based learning is there. And the methods of teaching for curriculum 4.0 was the use of high-tech softwares. Game-based learning is there, and they are doing this, and they are emphasizing on this and demanding as well. And simulation and animation and graphic-based tools are the requirement. And also the research-based learning is demanding, that the teachers, TVET teachers, must have to research or align their content, what they are delivering in the classroom, teaching in the classroom. They have to give the flavor to the students after doing some research about the IR 4.0 with the offerings, what are the offerings of that, and then they can come up with the effective content. And then assessment for curriculum 4.0, where skill-based assessment like performance-based assessment was required, and assessment through digital platform was considered as one of the effective one, where computer-based assessment was the dominant way where we can engage students, and project-based learning was the emphasis of the assessment part of curriculum 4.0. So these are the major findings, and I think if I talk about the public the review in terms of these new ways of teaching, especially the communities, they are associated with the community colleges, polytechniques in our context of Pakistan. So the people, they are now moving and learning the lifelong learning skills. They are moving towards learning those hands-on skills, especially in terms of girls' education. As you know, that the girls' education is somehow neglected in the region. So the women, the girls, now they are more emphasizing towards the skill-based education, promote the skill-based education among these gender orientations. And also the curriculum 4.0 is in Pakistan, the strategies what we are using, the approaches what we are using is putting impact to improve further need. But it's a time-taking process. It takes a lot of time to effectively integrate, to get the positive impact and results. So it will be quite early that we can say that we are doing a wonderful job, but we are trying and struggling in this. So that is all about for today. I was expecting to have more, but sorry for the inconvenience in between. So it was like conclusion part of this. So thank you very much, University Jakarta, State University Jakarta, and Professor Brewery and Swiss, if I'm pronouncing wrong. So Sulesmi. So thank you very much, all of you, for this, and I hope you have bring something from this today's our session. So thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, thank you, sir. In next is Q&A question. If all participants can raise hand.
Yes, please.
Yes, there are 3. Please, Pak Jaya.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Sulasmi. Well, thank you, Mr. Mujtaba Asad. Thanks for your such insightful presentation.
Thank you very much.
Firstly, let me introduce myself. I am a doctoral student from Yogyakarta State of University, and currently I'm working in a company. My role is as a talent acquisition, like say to find potential employee in managerial position, like that. So the interesting is I want to discuss in this forum. Before that, Mrs. Lasmi, could you please open again the slide page 8 or 9 maybe about 21st skill century? Thank you. Okay, so sir, like this. So now, like we are discussing about industrial 4.0. It's a very hot topic. I think everybody in this world, yeah, Pakistan, like Indonesia, yeah, many countries are talking about like this topic. But in my opinion, I think there is something missing. Yeah, like okay, fine, please jump, Ms. Lasmi. Okay, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. Everybody's talking about this, but
Yeah.
From my perspective, I want to discuss about the core, the root of human in humanity perspective. It is
Yes.
about love, compassion, or maybe in Islamic religion, like we say rahmah, like rahmah, like to love, to care, like that. So I would like to discuss with Sir Mujtaba in your personal perspective, personal opinion. Don't you think that this skill, yeah, like to love, to care each other from humanity perspective, universal perspective, do you think we should teach our student like to have this skill? Because this is the core. Before we are talking about like, yeah, critical thinking, communication, but the fundamental is how to love. Do you think we should teach this
Thank you.
in Tibet perspective? Maybe like that.
Yes,
Thank you.
Pak Jaya. Yes.
Thank you very much. And a very good question. I think a very humanistic perspective of TVET is highlighted. And I really appreciate the question, because this question is one how somehow we are industrialization. We are talking about the big discourse or somehow the big terms. But exactly, I second with you that there should be a space for this. And I think as a Muslim, as a Islamic teaching as well, that they also teach us to love, to care, to contribute. So because these are not the somehow Muslims, based on the Muslims teaching, this is developed, they are from the other countries, they developed this. And I think somehow, like for example, collaboration, if we talk about collaboration, so Islam and the collaboration is the teamwork, the collaboration is to support each other, to learn from each other, to give tolerance, working in the community, working with the peers. So in that part, I think this is our role as a teacher, as you are as a HR person, or if I'm not mistaken. So this is our role to develop or integrate the values, the affective domain, the moral values, the religious values in our practices, while we are dealing with our students, while we are dealing with our employees as well, our friends, our colleagues. So directly, one of the skill that how to love, how to care, how to deliver is mentioned there. But as a teacher, we have to not stick to these are just the frameworks or the roadmap to tell us that how we can on what skills we have to work. But I really appreciate your thought, and we as a teacher must bring such humanistic religious skills to our classroom and to develop the these humanistic values. And I think in collaboration, in communication, like for example, if a teacher can communicate in a polite way, if an employer can communicate in a polite way, in that manner, when he or she cannot hurt anyone, if he or she can also influence his or her student. I think teacher is an admirer. The students are admirer of teacher. So teacher is a role model. So where the communication skill is a part. So I think we can teach there our students in collaboration. We can add this, that you have to support your friend, you have to support your colleague, you have to work in a team. You not take all the share, or the free rider will be there in the team. You have to work together, equal honesty will be there, and tolerance will be there, self independence will be there, and sharing will be there. So I think uh, it's up to us that we can add these humanistic values in that. But I really appreciate your question, because we are so much digitalized, we are so much technology based, and this humanistic value or religious value is missing. So I think that is as per my opinion. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mujtaba. Interesting feedback. I think from Pakistan or Indonesia or every country, we have the same humanity value. So let's fight
Yeah.
together for a better world. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much,
Okay.
and God bless you.
Thank you. Okay. And number 2 is Pak Ahmad Mujagi. Please on mic your.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given. My name is Ahmad. First, I want to say thank you for the lecture, which is very inspiring. But I'm still curious. I think TVET and industry collaboration in learning at certain level seem to have been going well in our country. But for collaboration in production, it seems limited only about how TVET preparing prospective workers for the industry. So my question is it possible for TVET to actually contribute to production directly? I mean, improving the quality of process and the result of production based on the product itself. Thanks. That my question.
Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you very much for your question, and it's a very good question. As you said that how a TVET can contribute to the production, right? The production, how it can. I think if, as per my industrial experience, what I like, as per my personal own experience, as I, as a chief engineer in one of the organization in industry, I saw that most of the suggestions for the improvement, most of the issues, they are challenging technical issues, they are from the technicians. They highlighted that this is the issue and how we can or reduce this. So the plan somehow from the management is approved, but there is a contribution of those technicians. There is because how they contribute, they diagnose the issue, they tell us that how we can improve it, they suggest us based on their personal experiences as well, because they are on in the field, they are working with the interacting with the machine, they are dealing with the machine. So what I believe that and also IR 4.0, when we are talking about these big things, somehow integrating in the industry or some in the academia as well. But uh, uh, that is, I think, they are also one of the stakeholders when the policies are developed, when the production strategies are developed, or for example, when the mechanism or technical things are modified or enhanced. So I think maybe I'm not sure that what are maybe this is not the practice in everywhere. Maybe it's not practicing everywhere, but we must have to take them on the board for developing the proper processes and mechanism for the production, either in any field. So they are the core part for that, and I think TVET also give them this space. But as you know, that the TVET education is considered as a bit lower than the engineering education. Huh? So the engineers make the policies, the engineers make the plan, and the technicians, they just follow. But I think it will be good that if we will take them, both parties on board, and because they have to work, they take them along with us, then it will be quite challenging for the success of that particular, from my personal experience as well. Thank you, Emma.
Okay, thank you, sir. Pak Ahmad, any
I
feedback?
think is enough. Thank you for the answer, Mr.
Thank you.
Muhammad Jabbar.
Thank you, Emma.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the last question from Mr. Muhammad Nuruzaman. Please on mic, Pak Zaman.
Thank you very much. Mr. Muhammad Mujtaba, I think it's very interesting presentation. After I am looking for about the Pakistan countries, we are enter list of the top 10 most populous countries in the world, Mr. Mujtaba.
Yes.
Pakistan is about 234 million, and then the Indonesian maybe is about 280 million people.
Yes.
And then
true.
Pakistan and Indonesia in terms of population only have a slight difference. Therefore, of course, the labor problem between us is more or less than same, maybe a little bit same.
Yes.
It's about vocational. Vocational is closely related to economic and technology. Speaking about economic, maybe current investment in this decade are more capital intensive than labor intensive. And then the consequences, the company or the enterprise prefers to maximize technology for production, so that it's require less labor. This result increase the number of unemployment. And then, of course, after the number of unemployment, of course, the result in the increase of the crime in this country. And then lead to the other bad consequences. So my question, what's policy should be done first? And then for us, for the academic people, maybe for the teacher in vocational school, what should we do? Because we didn't have the authority to make a policy. Maybe it's a little bit two question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Nuruz Zaman. Thank you, and it's very important question as well. And I think most of the time these questions arise when we talk about digitalization, when we talk about the automation, robotics, where the labor force can be replaced with the machines, with the robots. So it is somehow quite alarming situation. But what we can do as a that this is as per my personal opinion, and also this is discussed in on different platforms when the policymakers sit together. So the thing what we can do is either in a TVET, you are a TVET teachers, either you are working in any industry as a labor. So what we have to do, the policymakers have to utilize that human resource to avoid that empowerment in terms of giving them those skills to reduce the employment issue. So what we those skills, or we can give them some trainings on the required coming demanding skills, where we can engage them in the industry, and they will not consider as somehow a useless person in to get it fired from the organization. So in this, what we can do, we can offer them, or we can give them some trainings of those skills where the students they can learn particular upcoming, like for example, if someone is a labor, how we can give them artificial intelligence skills, because he cannot even write. So in that case, it's quite challenging for us. And also we are facing this issue that those, they are not educated workforce. So we have to think for them. But the offering of education 4.0 is also focusing on that, that in upcoming days, we not need much labor, but we need people. They can develop robots. We need people, they can work in the industry. We not need robots, like for example, who will develop the robots? The human will develop robot. So we need to train that workforce that can go to the market in future and come up with the like, this issue will not be there, that they are unemployed. And similarly the teacher, because teacher is the one who will teach students that what are those skills, analytical skills, technical skills, vocational skills, like are required in the industry in future, where the labor is minimum. So in that way, what I believe is that we can reduce this. But that challenge is there, and the policymakers and the industries have to upskill those labors. They are working some, like for example, some mechanical activity or task. So in that way we can engage them to other what we can call it, that places where they can work after getting some trainings of diplomas, of technical diplomas, technical vocational diplomas, where they can learn the skills which can contribute towards that automation, towards that digitalization. So I think in the start it is, and we are also still struggling for this, that how we can in that way, how we can deal with those people. They are quite like, they not go to school, even they not even write their names. So they also have some such labors as well, because of the low literacy rate in our countries. So that can be happen in future, but in present, what we can offer them some professional development trainings. We can give them, because if they cannot not write, not read, but they can also learn some skills, particularly which can contribute to that digitalization part. So this is from my personal opinion, Muhammad Noor Azman.
Thank you very much. Very interesting feedback, Mr. Muhammad Mujtaba. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. In the end of our discussion, I'm so sorry, but in our have another class.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and
Thank you very much.
thank you very much, Sulesmi. And at the end, I will wish you all best of luck for your research and your doctoral studies. And
Yes, amen.
yes, and may
Yes.
Allah bless you, and
Yes.
to become a good researcher, teachers, and to contribute to the society and to contribute to this IR 4.0 in Tibet. Thank you.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
But
warahmatullahi
apologies me, sir, because today
Yes.
Prof. Bruri can join in our discussion because Prof. Bruri has another agenda in Manado, North
Okay.
Sulawesi. But Prof. Bruri send your greeting. Hopefully you always healthy and happy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stay blessed, and my regards to him as well. Thank you.
Okay. I permission to take a picture with
Yes,
you.
sure.
Yes.
And also share this with me, so I can also,
yes.
when you will capture this.
Okay. And screen 1, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Screen 2, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Enough. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Muhammad Mujtaba Asad. Next time can see you in Indonesia.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. And
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.